What's up guys, welcome back. It's hard to believe it, but the holiday season is already right around the corner and you guys know I've got all the recipes that you need. Today I'll be showing you how to make these delicious twice baked sweet potatoes. I already have a couple other sweet potato recipes like sweet potato casserole and candied yams on the channel, so if you're into that, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, this recipe is absolutely perfect if you're trying to switch it up or if you have a smaller family and don't feel like making a big casserole this year. But before we get into the recipe, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right guys, meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen. First things first, let's take a look at these ingredients. As you can see, not a whole lot of ingredients. Super simple today. We have 3 medium-sized sweet potatoes. We have some pecans or pecans, depending on what part of the country you're in. We got some marshmallows, brown sugar, white sugar, flour, one of my favorite secret ingredients, a little butter extract. That's gonna add tons of flavor to this. Some vanilla extract, nutmeg, and cinnamon sugar. All right guys, so we have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. We got some nice and clean sweet potatoes here. Very important to do that. Run them under some cold water, scrub them with a paper towel. We're gonna take a fork or a paring knife and just puncture some holes into the sweet potatoes before they go into the oven. They're gonna take about 45 to 60 minutes in the oven at about 400 degrees. You really just want them to be nice and fork tender. This step here allows steam to escape from the potatoes while they're in the oven. I've heard some horror stories about potatoes blowing up in the microwave or the oven. It's never actually happened to me. If it's happened to you or someone you know, let me know in the comments so I can see if that's legit or not. All right, so at this point, we're just gonna place them on a baking sheet. You wanna put something underneath them because the natural sugar in the sweet potatoes will start to come out during the cooking process, and that could be a mess to clean up. So I'm gonna put a little aluminum foil under there, and this is going in the oven at 400 degrees. All right, so while your potatoes are in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and make a candied pecan topping situation. Here we have about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of crushed or chopped pecans. To that, we're gonna add 1 cup of all-purpose flour, along with 1 cup of brown sugar. Don't tell my doctor. We're also going in with 5 tablespoons of butter, because why the hell not? We're here for a good time, not a long time. Plus, it's the holidays, right? You gotta have some butter in just about every dish. Give that a good mix. Next, I'm going in with just a pinch of kosher salt to wake everything up. Salt really enhances the other flavors that are in there. You just want to fold everything together until you get a nice coarse crumble topping consistency like you see right here. Super easy, extra delicious. You're gonna have to do a couple extra miles on the treadmill after you eat this, but it's well worth it. Now last but not least, as if we don't have enough sugar in there, I'm going in with just a little bit of cinnamon sugar, a sprinkle of that, and we should be good to go. As always guys, it's super important to taste as you go. Adjust the flavor to your preference. That doesn't need any adjusting. All right guys, so this is how we're looking after about 45 minutes. As you can see, they're nice and tender to the touch. I'm gonna take a nice sharp knife and we're just gonna cut along the top here. This is the way I like to do my twice baked potatoes. All right, so once you take the top off, we're gonna take a spoon and just scoop out some of the potato and throw that in a mixing bowl. There we go. And that's what you wanna see right there. You still wanna leave some sweet potato in there so that the skin keeps its integrity and doesn't fall apart on you. But you want to scoop out enough that you can mash it up and add some good stuff to it. All right, so we've gone ahead and gutted out the sweet potatoes. To that, I'm gonna add a half stick of melted butter. Again, guys, it's the holiday season. Don't be shy. We're gonna season this up with some cinnamon, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, and about a half teaspoon of nutmeg, along with a pinch of salt. Then I'm gonna break out the potato masher and begin to mash our sweet potatoes. Let me know in the comments what your favorite sweet potato dish is during the holiday season. Is it sweet potato casserole? Is it candied yams? How do you guys like to do it? The next guest to arrive to the flavor party is a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna go in with a 1/4 teaspoon or a 1/4 teaspoon of butter extract. I'm also gonna add a little bit of lemon zest just to wake everything up, add a little pop of freshness to the situation. It's gonna cut through some of the sweetness, and it just pairs really nicely with this recipe. So definitely give it a try, guys. I know it might sound a little odd, but I promise it's gonna take things to the next level. Get back in there with the potato masher and just make sure we don't have any large pieces of potato left. You can keep it a little lumpy. If you wanna get crazy, you can break out the blender or the hand mixer and make this as smooth as you want to. But for this recipe, I like to keep it a little bit lumpy. If we were making like a casserole or a sweet potato pie, obviously we would use the hand mixer. All right, so this is where it starts to get super healthy. We're going in with white and brown sugar, because why the hell not? We're just gonna mix that in. And then you wanna taste and adjust. If you need to add a little bit more sugar, you can. And then just to thicken this up just a little bit in terms of the consistency, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon or 2 of all-purpose flour. We'll mix that in, and then we'll restuff those potatoes, top it with the pecan topping, and then back into the oven. So we went ahead and put the potato skins right back on that same baking dish or baking sheet. We're loaded back up with this deliciousness here. You guys have got to give this recipe a try. Perfect for, you know, a side dish for dinner. Some steakhouses serve a variation of this recipe. So if you've ever had it, let me know. I believe they serve something like this at Texas Roadhouse. Is the first place I ever had it. That was kind of the inspiration for this recipe. Once we got them stuffed, we're gonna take our pecan crumble topping. Just place a little bit of that right on top. If you're not a fan of marshmallows, guys, you can stop right here at the pecan topping. But for the rest of us, we're gonna add a little bit of mushrooms after this topping. Now guys, if you're not a fan of marshmallows, you can stop right here at the pecan topping. But for the rest of us, we're gonna add some marshmallows to the top of this once this has about 15 to 20 minutes in the oven for this topping to get nice and crispy for it. And that's how we're looking after about 20 minutes in the oven at 350. Damn, that looks good. Again, guys, if you don't like marshmallows, you can stop right here. It would be fantastic. But for the rest of us sugar addicts, we're gonna get a little crazy. Top it with some marshmallows. You can break out the blowtorch or just put it under the broiler or back in the oven. Just long enough for those marshmallows to melt and caramelize a little bit. Once you have all the marshmallows that your heart desires, we're gonna pop that back in the oven. And this, my friends, is what we're looking like fresh out of the oven. The marshmallows are caramelized to perfection. This dish is a must try. This is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is get in there for a taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, moment of truth. potatoes. How do I want to describe it? It's perfect for smaller families. What was the last thing I said? Just twice baked sweet potato?
Yeah, you have a couple of
Okay, gotcha.